Hello and welcome to Spruikers on the eve of the first classic of the spring, Jake. I notice you're very excited. You've already broken out in a rash on a scale of 1 to 10. How excited?
20 tags. I'm in a muck lather. I'm very excited. Caulfield Guineas Day Eve is much like Christmas Eve to me. I'm obsessed.
Before we come back and get all your tips for the weekend, Jake, we're going to visit Nat in the news desk.
Thanks, Hugh. Well, Irish mare Profound Beauty will not run in this year's Melbourne Cup despite finishing 5th last year behind Viewed. Singapore mare Jolie Shinju will miss the Yalumba Stakes and the Cox Plate after tests revealed she has an abnormal heartbeat. And jockey Craig Williams is set to appeal a careless riding suspension, which as it stands will see him banned from riding Vigour in the Caulfield Cup. Looking at the Group 1 races at Caulfield this Saturday, and Who Got You will face 7 rivals in the Yalumba Stakes. The gelding has drawn barrier 5, while Nom de Jeu has drawn barrier 3. And finally, for the $1 million Caulfield Guineas, Sydney's top colt Denman has drawn barrier 7. Trusting is in 10, while So You Think drew the outside barrier of 11. That's it from me, guys. Back to you.
Thank you, Nat. I think she's just as excited as you, Jakey. We're going to get into the Caulfield Guineas. First of all, the first classic of the year, and we have, lo and behold, one of the Sheik's horses is our favourite, Denman, $2.84, Trusting, $4.80, Manhattan Rain, the glamour horse of the spring, already been dubbed a glamour horse, $6.80. So You Think, $9.20, Star Spangled Banner, $14.50, I should say, tickets $20, and it's a gap to the rest. Jakey, first of all, very exciting time. You must be thrilled.
Absolutely, and it's a wonderful Caulfield Guineas 2 tags. Bart Cummings has described this as the best one for a decade since Redute's Choice and Testarossa, so I'm so excited, I'm just agog.
It sets up the spring nicely, doesn't it? Because the 3-year-olds look very, very strong.
Yeah.
They could either go through to the Derby, they could perhaps even go to the Cox Plate and take on the older horses, and we look like we've got a very, very good crop, as you said.
Yeah.
Denman has so far gone through undefeated. His dad won this race. Who are his main rivals here, Jakey?
Well, Trusting in Manhattan Rain and So You Think are the obvious ones tags, but Denman is definitely the horse to beat. He's taken all before him in Sydney and he's beaten some of these horses already, so he's a tractable animal. The only question is, has he...
He's a gorgeous animal too, have you seen?
He's very dark.
Jet black, like just like his dad.
Yeah. Lonhro's definitely thrown to Denman, that's for sure, but look, he's at the end of his campaign, and that's probably the chance for the other horses to swoop at the last minute tags and take advantage of that. I think he's going to be a bit short for mine. I'd be pretty keen to bet against Denman, to lay him, I think. I just think he's too short at the odds.
Snowden said he's absolutely right on for this. Perfectly primed, ready to go, 284. It doesn't seem that bad a value.
Well, he's hardly going to say,
for a horse that hasn't lost.
Well, he's lost once, but the trainer's hardly going to say, oh no, no chance. I've trained him terribly.
Well, let's have a look at the others. Trusting Jake, $4.80. Manhattan Rain, $6.80. So You Think, $9.20. And Star Spangled Banner, $14.50. I noticed that you've been seduced by Gay Waterhouse.
I know, like I always am.
Yeah.
Look, it's not one of those guineas with a big field, like when Lonhro won, it can swoop late. I think there'll be horses on the pace that can dictate terms, and they'll be, in the small field, difficult to catch. I think Manhattan Rain is one of those horses, and I may have been seduced by Gay a little bit, which is my want. But nevertheless, I'd be happy to have something each way on Manhattan Rain. I think he's probably the best colt in the country, and I think he's going to prove it on Saturday.
Well, I like Trusting, $4.80 for Trusting. He's also very well bred and runs for Nathan Tinkler. The size of him, he'll be absolutely massive if he wins this. He'll just go and eat a number of pies and maybe even shout the bar at Caulfield. We'll move on from the Caulfield Guineas to the Toorak Handicap, Jake. 1,600 metres, Group 1 handicap race. Black Piranha, $5.50. Raffaello, owned by the fruit and veggie market, I reckon. You heard about
Mark the Marconi?
Oh, he's on a very good milkshake, Raffaello. Raheed, $6.50. Gold Salute, $8.50. Racing to Winners carrying the top weight, $8.50. Rock Kingdom, last start winner at the Epsom.
Yep.
And Chasm, $12. Jake, who do you like here in the handicap?
I think the fruit and veg horse tags Raffaello. I was at...
no, he's drawn gate 1.
Yeah.
Going to get boxed in?
Well, potentially, but that's the risk you take in any race. Michael Rodd, I've seen speak publicly a few times of late, and he's really spruiked Raffaello as one of his best spring mounts. That's good enough for me. I think he's in with a lightweight chance, and I think he'll probably go on with the job. He's been unlucky lately. I think he'll win the Toorak.
The Yalumba Stakes, Jake. Who Got You, $2.30. It also gives us a nice road to the spring. Who Got You, $2.30. Heart of Dreams, $3.20. Vision and Power, $5. Master O'Reilly, $8.20. Nom de Jeu, $8.20. There's a couple of handicappers in here. There's a couple of wait for age horses. Which way do you go?
This is a tough race, tags. It's one for laying, I think. Another one where the small field might mean that someone up the front is a better chance of pinching some cheap sectionals and going on with it. For that reason, I'm pretty keen to lay Who Got You. He's a money muncher. He's won 1 out of his last 10 or thereabouts. I'm laying Hubagotchi tags. Other than that, I can't really pick up the winner.
I like Zarita there, Jake. A bit of value, $12. The 1,000 guineas on
interesting.
Wednesday. Irish Lights, $3. Majestic
Music.
Music. God, I can't even spit it out. And Sister Madley, $10, who won last start in Sydney. Jake, have you got a tip for the
I
Wednesday?
think Irish Lights is
She looks
the
very
biggest
good,
moral of
doesn't
a
she?
Group 1 going round. Moral.
Thanks very much, Jakey. We're going to go to Nat with her Betfair Big Spruik.
The Betfair.
Well, guys, my Betfair Big Spruik is trusting for the Caulfield Guineas. I was going to go with Star Spangled Banner until I realised it had drawn barrier 1. So trusting for mine, and hopefully I win some money. What do you guys reckon?
Well, I think she's right on the money, Jakey. It's exactly who I'm going to
She's-
tip. I'm
she's
going to tip Trusting.
trustworthy.
I think the 1,600 metres is going to suit Trusting down to the ground. I don't think the small field is going to be a problem for him. I think he's going to be the best colt in the field, and it's going to be proven after Saturday. Jake,
Fair play.
who's your Betfair Big Spruik?
Mine's in the other 1,600 metre race at Caulfield, the other Group 1 tags, the Touareg Handicap. I think Raffaello, he's just been going to peak nicely for this race. He's been working into it, and the connections are very confident, so am I, Raffaello and the
You're a
Touareg.
brave man to bet against the fruit and veg.
My word.
Wouldn't it,
Who
Jake?
knows where you might end up, tags.
Thanks very much, Jake, and thanks very much for joining us. That's all from the Spruikers. We'll see you again next week.